Namaste. I wish you all a very, very happy Sharanavaratrotsava. We are in the auspicious 6th day of the Sharanavaratrotsava. Prathamam Shailaputri Dvitiyam Brahmacharini Tritiyam Chandraganteti Kushmandeti Chaturtakam Panchamam Skandamateti Shashtam Katyayani cha. Today we worship her as Katyayani. Katyayana Maharshi was a brahmachari who did tapasya to have Devi as his daughter. A brahmachari was seeking to have her as his daughter, and she blessed him. And when the great Mahishasura, the very, very terrible Mahishasura was born, all the devatas, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, Indra, Agni, Vayu, Varuna, and Yama, Niruti, everybody, they all gathered in Katyayana's ashrama, and there they all together brought out their Chidagni, their Kopagni Jwalas came together and formed the great Durga Parameshwari. So she fulfilled the desire of Katyayana Maharshi by manifesting in his ashrama, and thus she became his daughter, and she is Katyayana's daughter, Katyayani. And this is her fierce form, Shakti form. She is a Durga Parameshwari form, riding on a very, very fierce lion with Lord Ashtabhuja's 8 arms, holding all brilliant weapons, and she has a shankha in her hand, and she is ready to go and war and vanquish Mahishasura. So this is the Katyayani Devi whom we worship today. And may Katyayani bless us especially. There's a very nice convention in Navaratra across Bharatavarsha to listen to the story of Durga Saptashati during the Navaratra. So we'll listen to the first 2 charitas, Prathama Charitra and Madhyama Charitra, in short, in brief today. And we will listen to the 3rd charitra in the successive days. So the first charitra is that there was a king called Surata Maharaja, who was a very good king, no doubt, but his own people, his own family members, his own ministers, they cheated him, betrayed him, and threw him out of the palace. He lost everything and came to the jungle and was very aggrieved, but he was thinking of his palace and family and kingship only. At the same time, another merchant, a very wealthy merchant called Samadhi, he was also cheated by his own wives and children, who threw him out of the family, having snatched away all his big, huge wealth. He was also very aggrieved and thinking of his family. So both of them meet and they discuss with each other, and they say, both of us have been cheated by our own family members, but we are still thinking of them. We cannot come out of the trauma. What stops us from coming out of that? Why can't we acknowledge truth and go ahead? So they both happen to meet the great Sumedha Maharshi and ask him the question, what makes us so weak? What makes us cry like this? Why can't we come out of this trauma? So Sumedha Maharshi says, the whole world is created and it is being run by the great Adya Shakti Paramatma. She binds us all with her Moha Shakti. So you pray to her, only she can remove the Moha. Not just human beings like you, even the devatas are tied down by her Moha. She plays with her Moha. She's just playful with this great creation. And then he tells the Prathama Charitra where once the great Devi just wanted to have fun for Leela. She, as Yoga Nidra, she entered the body of Mahavishnu, and she made him sleep. She made him go into very, very deep sleep. When Mahavishnu was totally in deep slumber, 2 very terrible Rakshasas were born from his ears, from the dirt of his ears. That was Madhu and Kaitaba. They created havoc across the universes, and then the Devatas prayed to her, Tvam Swaha, Tvam Svadha, Tvam Hiva Shatkara Swaratmika. So the Brahmadis prayed to her, and then she came out from Vishnu's body and motivated him to go and kill the Asuras. So Vishnu had a long fight with Madhu Kaitaba and slayed them, and that is how in the Prathama Charitra we see Devi motivates Mahavishnu, and through him gets Madhu Kaitaba killed. So he says even Vishnu was overwhelmed by the Yoga Nidra. So what about me and you? We are all enveloped by the Maya, Moha, generated by Devi. It is only her grace that can enable us to come out of this Moha. Then the 2 are very interested to listen to more. Then he narrates the 2nd story, that is a Madhyama Charitra. Once again, after many, many long Manvantaras, a very terrible demon called Mahishasura was born. He got his Mahisha, demonic, tamasic nature from inertia from his mother, who was a Mahishi, and a very demonic, Rakshasi nature from his father. And he was a very incorrigible person, very, very rude, very ill-behaved, and he was a womanizer and very, very bully type across the world. And as usual, he did tapasya, and he got the boon from Brahma that Deva, Danava, Yaksha, Gandharva, Kinnara, Kimpurusha, Siddha, Vidyatara, nobody can kill me. And in that list, he forgot to mention the name of a woman. or rather he thought, what can a woman do to me? So he had a lot of contempt for women. So now he was now a very big bully. He went across the different Atala Vitala Sutala Talatala Rasatala Patala Mahitala Bhuva Bhuva Suvaha Jana Tapa, and everywhere, and he snatched their property, snatched their lands and made them slaves, threw them out. So all the Devatas and Yaksha Gandharvas were all very, very miserable, and they came to Brahma seeking some solution. Along with Brahma, they all went to Vishnu, and again all of them went to Shiva, and all of them gathered together according to the Puranas in Katyayani Maharshi's ashrama, and then they all together had a discussion. Then from the Bhrukuti, from the forehead, this place of between the eyebrows of Shiva, Vishnu and Brahma, and all the Devatas, Kopagni Jwalas, brilliant fireballs emerged, and they all got together and made a heap of fire, and that heap of fire enveloped the whole of the space, and that took a beautiful form of a woman, and all the beautiful Shaktis and the glories of the Devatas, the ornaments of the Devatas, their weapons, everything, a part of it went and joined her. So from everybody's heart she manifested out. She was already there in Vishnu, Brahma, Shiva, in the Dikpalakas, everywhere. She was already there as the dormant energy. Now she manifested and took the beautiful form of a great woman with ashtabhujas, with brilliant weapons, riding on a big lion, and she had a shankha. She made a very, very fierce shankha sound, and Mahishasura was suddenly awakened. He said, who is making that sound? Who is calling me for war? He rushed to see that it was Durga Parameshwari. He sent his whole army of lakhs and thousands of Rakshasas with their brilliant weapons, but in minutes she destroyed them all. And finally there was a Dvanva Yuddha, a dual war between Mahishasura and Durga Parameshwari, and in minutes she completely destroyed him. She completely defeated him in every way. And finally, when the Ashtami Navami Sandhi came, the day when Ashtami was converging into Navami, it was a Sandhya Kala. She pounced on him, trampled him on his chest, and she killed him with her Trishula. She pierced the Trishula in his chest, and this terrible tamasic energy, which was a very big threat to the whole existence of Dharma, was now slayed. So this is a very important story of Navaratra. She's called Mahishamardini, Durga Parameshwari, Katyayani, Aparajita. So these are the different names in which she is called, and we worship Durga Parameshwari especially on the Ashtami Navami days. And to listen to the story of Durga Saptashati is very important in the Navaratra days. Today we listen to two of the stories, the Prathama Charitra and the Madhyama Charitra. In the coming days we listen to the Tritiya, that is the Uttama Charitra as well, where she vanquished many more demons. So may Katyayani Durga Parameshwari bless us all with Ayur Arogya, Aishwarya, Abhirti, and Desha Bhakti and Dharma Nishta and courage to stand up for truth. Namaste. I wish you all once again a very happy Sharanavaratrotsava.